everybody, I'm Violinist UnHae Kwon and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna learn how to change your strings! Yay! Okay, so I have my package from Johnson Strings. I literally, I'm gonna cover this, but I paid extra. Oh, here, does it say priority? So at Johnson's, if you pay over $100, if you buy $100 worth of stuff, they automatically bump you up to priority shipping, which is very nice because most places that are music based don't do that even if you spent $150, but Johnson does, which means it's 2-day mail, which is fantastic. I ordered it on Wednesday, it came on Friday, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so there was no point in buying it priority. I could have just bought the strings and then like had them shipped and only pay like $5 versus paying buying $40 extra worth of stuff. But it was okay, it was worth it because my Bon Musica legs, or the foam, is falling off as they always do, so I had to reorder like 2 of those, and I also bought some books for the summer. But yes, if you spend over $100, you get bumped up to 2-day mail. But here we go. We're gonna open it now. What is this? Oh my gosh, it's their brochure. Their brochure is hella thick. I got a bunch of strings. Yes, I did. Okay, so I guess this is where the string is. This is very good. Okay, so I got some strings. I am hardcore dominant. I used to use Bougie, Peter and Phil strings, which is technically all the same company. I used everything, like gut strings, Piastro strings, infield, stupid Vision strings, and you know, all the strings, same company. The Avas, I loved Ava. It's on my old violin. You know, the only thing about Avas is you have to change it every like 5 weeks when you're in conservatory, versus these, which should be every 4 to 6 months. These last longer, these are trustworthy, and actually for my violin, this one actually works better. So the reason for this video is that I've actually changed my strings a couple times on Instagram stories, and I've been asked to post them, or recommended to post them, or advised to post them on YouTube. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna make that happen, because when I do it on Instagram stories, I'm changing it like for my students, so like they're filming me as it's happening. So I have no idea how I'm gonna do it by myself with the tripod, but we will try. We will try. But this is my current situation. I don't know if I can, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Okay, so these are the strings, and you see that dent right there? Yeah, we have a couple of those. That's actually spread out. You see all the dents right here, and on the D string as well. It's not very good. It's so bad that here, listen. This is a normal string. That's what it should sound like. This is what it sounds like. Because there's a huge dent. Oh yeah, that's great for sound production. It's whistled on me like a bajillion times, and then it cracked on me, and I was gigging the entire time. And then we were recording stuff for YouTube, like content for YouTube with me and my pianist, for Charis, and for Esther Charis, and then for Duo Charitas, which we're gonna have to refilm now because it cracked so much. And I was like, okay, we need to change the strings now. Duo Charitas is actually meeting today, which is the cello and violin duo from Esther Charis Piano Trio, which is the group that we're all in with our pianist Tiffany Poon, cellist Ashley Ng, and violinist UnHae Kwon. So we're actually trying to put up content for you guys and wanting to like share our music with the world, in which case we do want to at least have the right equipment. So I am changing my strings right now. I don't know why this E string is twanging. I changed it 2 weeks ago, but it's already twanging. So I'm gonna show you basically how I've been taught to change strings and manage strings and like do all that, the cleaning and stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so some of the things you will need during your changing of strings is of course your strings, peg dope, steel wool, sharpened pencil, and then a new cloth or old cloth if you don't want to use the new one. And here we go. So this is microfiber. Only use microfiber. Not the one that they sell at Costco for like cars and cleaning. I would use the one that's so fine that you can actually even use it on your lenses and stuff like that. Or maybe one grade up. This one's like one grade up. I would suggest that. And please, people, clean your washcloths. Thank you. All right, here we go. Just FYI, trying to film by yourself is hella hard when you're trying to change strings. I should have waited for Ashley or Tiff or someone, but Ash is, I think, working right now or getting ready for our recording tonight. And Tiff, it's her first morning, or it's like her first morning off in like 3 days. So like she's like, she needs to sleep in and stuff. So here I am trying to film myself. I have no idea how I'm gonna show you anything, but we're gonna try, okay? We're just gonna try. And the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first do the outer strings. I either like to do the outer strings, which is the G and E string, or the inner 2 strings. And it's quite simple. All you have to do is unwind and then gently pull it off. The whole point, however, is to not loosen all the strings at once. Once the tension is off the bridge and the bridge falls, then your tone post will most likely fall. So you just want to be super careful. So I'm going to show you how to unwind it. So I like to anchor it against my body first. Anchor it against your body, and then I'm going to actually do I want to do A, D, E, G. Yeah, let's do it that way. So I'm going to take the A string off. So you unwind it and then you pull it out. And for me, I have 4 fine tuners, so I'm gonna just pop it out right there. And you're gonna see a residue. Do you see how the string is off, but it looks like there's a string still on because of the residue that's over there? The residue that's left over. Yeah, I like to clean that off first. That's the first thing I do. So I'm gonna take this and then go like this. You know what? I need to sit down for this because it has to be anchored to my body. How am I gonna film this? Dang it. I'm sorry. I think this is the only way I can figure out a way to make it work because I do need leverage like against my body. So I take the steel wool, the other piece, I don't know where, just put it, you can get this from your local hardware store. And you could just need like literally even this much. I bought a pack about like 15 years ago in 2006. 13 years ago, and it still lasts me to the day. Actually, I lost that, so all I have left is this bunch since like 2015, and it's lasted me this long. But it's the super fine one, and you don't want to do it too much, just enough to even it out. You don't want to put dips in it, so you don't want to like locate, you just don't want to stay in one place. So I like to find that down, and it's nice and smooth, which makes shifting and stuff like that much easier. And that's kind of what you do want happening in your life. Easy peasy shifting, because your life is hard enough as it is. And then I like to actually come over here. You see how that's still like white on the fingerboard? So I like to actually come here and get that off while there's a gap in the string. Oh, very smooth. I love it. You don't want to do this on the string because it'll wear out your strings. Okay. Very good. It feels good to me. And then the next thing I do is, if you're real hardcore, like my luthier, he will actually file the nut down. Do not do that unless you have real ebony and real wood on your fingerboard. If you have a violin from eBay or a $500 instrument, most likely it might be synthetic. So I wouldn't suggest it. So I'm not gonna file it down because I don't even know where that file went. But I'm gonna actually, what we do is, lead is a natural lubricant for metal. So you just take your number 2 pencil and then you just fill it in. Like here. I'm sorry that my hands are ashy. It's like I have no choice right now because I can't lotion my hands and do this because I ain't getting grease all over my hand. I would prefer them dry than oily, which means I have ashy hands. All right, so I lubricate that, and then I lubricate the bridge where the string's actually going to be touching. Not too much. You don't want it to look like a 5-year-old went crazy with a pencil on your bridge. So enough. And I'll lather it once again before I tighten it all the way. And the most important thing for me, because well, not anymore, I don't travel as much anymore, but especially if you travel, you want to make sure that this is lubricated. So if I use peg dope. So this is peg dope. This is the last of it. Wow, that's the last of it. I didn't know I had that much in there. This is, I've had this since probably 8th grade or 9th grade. They don't even sell it like this. I think they changed the formula. They changed the formula a few years back, and I don't like the new one. The new one's like in a tin can. It's much smaller. This one, obviously, after over a decade of use, still has quite a bit left and it's just as effective. I had teachers, professors from Russia that still brought their peg dope from like when they first immigrated, and they still used it and they were in their 80s. So, you know, it lasts a long time. The old ones, if you can find the old ones, is better. I personally don't like the new formulas that they're coming up with, but this one, if you find a mom and pop shop, you might be able to find some of their leftovers from a decade ago. Honestly, that's how I look for it. And I'm gonna actually get some scrap paper. Hold on, I'm gonna just use, I'm sorry, Johnson, I'm gonna use your magazine. I'm sorry, Johnson, I love you, I'm sorry. It's only because I actually ran out of printing paper and I don't have any scrap paper because I shred everything. So I'm gonna take my peg and you're gonna see what I do. Now there are like a bajillion tutorials on YouTube, so you can go find your own special one that works for you. This is the way I was taught by my teachers, and then my luthier also set some standards in me. And once again, I'm sorry for the dryness of my hands, but it is okay. So what I do is I do this. Ugh, I hate it when I get it on me. Be careful not to drop these little specks on the floor. If you have hardwood floors and you have rollies, like I have rolling chairs, you will put peg dope all over your house. That was a great lesson to learn. So I put it back in the box and then I do this. So there's no reason to get peg dope all over it because the only places it touches is where you see those indentations, where you see those marks. So I get it, I feel like I usually do it 2 times only because I feel like the first layer is like a coating and the second layer is what makes it effective. We're gonna get our second layer on here. I'm gonna put it up against it so I can get enough on it. I like to just paste it on basically because it's better. I feel like it's better to have too much and then do this than to have too little and then for something weird to happen on dry days or hot days. Okay. All right, very good. This is to prevent it from sticking. It is lubrication for your pegs and the box so that the box doesn't crack when you're like trying, like it doesn't get stuck and you hear some of those violins that go. That's very bad. You should be peg doping the heck out of that. So on mine, you're gonna say you see 2 sets of holes. It's because one of the holes is the one that is standard, quote unquote standard. That's the one that the shops do. And then the other hole is the one that the luthier does. So some shops, what they do is they just set it to a standard, like, oh, this is supposed to be this measurement away, this measurement away, this measurement away. Luthiers won't do that. They're more like, so like violin shops, I hate it. Don't hate me, violin shops. But violin shops, I feel like some of them are more like Gap or Forever 21, where they're just trying to have like a standard where it doesn't fit everyone. You know, it fits a lot of people, but it doesn't fit everyone. Same thing with the violin. It fits a lot of violins, but it doesn't fit every violin well. And then a luthier, quote unquote luthier, is your haute couture. They're the people that literally make dresses to shape your body, and the holes that Ken made are the ones that shape this specific instrument. Like the tone post is new on this instrument. Fingerboard I think is also new on this instrument. The pegs I was going to do new pegs, but he said it's not necessary when we can just drill new holes, so we did that. Okay, and we're ready to put in the A string. Look at all that speck of dust. Okay, so for A, where is my law? That's my G Stark. Oh, we're gonna take the A. I'm gonna make sure I don't have anything, no oils or anything. And the first thing I do, especially when I'm at a violin shop, obviously you can't do it here. I take clean hands and then I check the string to see if there's any dips. some strings you'll either feel like Westminster, sometimes they're so tarnished you can feel the rust building on it, or the string how it's tarnished and the black. This one, or sometimes you can feel nicks. Those are not the ones you want to see. I already feel a nick here, but I don't play there and I can't really return it, so it's fine. So, or some kind of unevenness. So this one has a few. It's not perfect. It just means it won't probably last all 200 hours. All right, so you're gonna see it opening right there, and then that hole. Do you guys see it? That hole? So I'm gonna put this in the hole. I'm gonna make sure it comes out a little bit, just because on my instrument it's better to just pull out a little bit. Some people, you know, some of my Russian teachers used to like having the things come out of the box, the almost like hair strands where the strings are poking out of the box. It's this hole. Wait, which hole is it? Yeah, it's that one. It's the one he made. And then you just want to pull out a little bit. If you can't reach it, you can use tweezers and get it. That's what I used to do when I was a child. You see how much it came out? That's a little too much for mine, but for a normal person, I would say at least bring it out like this much. If you can see, bring it out at least that much. That's too much for my violin, so I'm gonna do a little less. But I don't want it so little that it unwinds, which I don't want happening when I'm playing, like, you know, in concert, when I'm doing like performing or something. All right, so now I'm gonna hold on to it, and then you can do a figure eight. So a figure eight, if you look at the strings sticking out, figure eight is you do it once away and then once on the other side. That way this stays in between the two strings, and then you wind it. In this case, because it's on, the peg is on this side, we do the opposite. I don't like doing a figure eight. I will do it correctly. So you go to one side, and then you come to the other side and then continue winding. It's to basically move some real estate away from the edge of the box. I personally don't care for it. I'm gonna just wind it close to the box. And then I'm going to roll it. I like a clean roll, so I roll it and I keep rolling it. So what the other argument for the figure eight is people don't like how the string stacks up on top of the last one. So it doing the figure eight is like the less of two evils. It only stacks twice, versus the other one where it can stack up to 4 times depending on how short your fingerboard or how long your instrument is. I have the string taut, and as you can see, it's basically where it's supposed to be. For people who don't know the length of their instrument, I would take time to learn it. So I'm not gonna put it at the nut yet, because I don't want to waste that lubricant I put down. I'm gonna pull it a little bit more, keeping it taut the entire time. Now I'm gonna sink that in, put that in, and then because I have 4, you know what, that's another video. I'll tell you one day why I have 4 fine tuners. And it was for chamber music. You see the ball, I like the ball straight up and down as much as possible, because what's gonna happen is as you're tuning, it can possibly move. I don't like that, because sometimes it'll like turn the other way and twist the string, which I don't like doing. So I'm gonna keep this taut while I put this in. And then, see, I already lost some of the lube, hold on. I'm gonna put some, okay. And then I'm gonna now set it in the groove, and then I'm gonna hold on to the bridge up against my body, keep it close to my body without moving it back and forth while I am turning the peg. So the way you can do it is you can park it like this against your body, support the neck with your leg, and then making sure that the violin doesn't turn, you can turn the peg. So I like to just bring it up a little bit. And you know that cloth I told you about, that clean cloth? The thing about metal is it always stretches better when it's warm. So I like to warm it up. That's just my 2 thing. You know, some shops don't even do that. They don't even need to do that. It's fine, but this is just my thing, because I've literally had strings snap in my face. Ew, do you see that? Ew. All right, so we're gonna, do you see how everything is out of tune? It's because you moved that out of tune. When you move one, you move everything. When you change the tension on one, you change the tension on everything. Okay. So you can feel the heat, and then I'm gonna keep going. So this is close to A. What I'm gonna do to just help out the string is I'm gonna actually make the A almost like an A sharp, just to stretch out the string more, because I am rehearsing tonight. I just want the string a little bit worn in. That is literally an A, so we're gonna make it a little higher. And you're gonna see by the end of this, it'll come down. Okay, I wanna make sure it's really taut. Okay, so that's how you change the string. I'm gonna actually do my other ones, and I'll see you at the end. Oh no. This has a huge dent. The D string has a huge dent. Oh my gosh, you can even see the dent. It shouldn't be there. It's huge. Oh, that's a huge dent. That's like something actually plowed into this. But we have no choice, so it's not gonna last me, but it's okay. We'll do what we need to get what we need to get done. Get it done. Oh man, this D string dent is massive. I have to call Johnson. Yeah, that's horrible. Someone at the store should have checked this. Yeah, that's a huge nick. It is at least 2 millimeters, like 2 millimeters wide. I'm gonna have to call Johnson. This is the E string. E string I don't even pull, I just get it taut enough, because I've literally had some of these snap right into my eyes when I was younger. I'm gonna, as soon as it's taut, I'm not gonna even bother like bringing it up. I'm just gonna heat it up right away. And what you saw me do earlier with the steel wool is I got this area as clean as possible, because you know the repertoire I want to start looking at is all in this area, what you know I call no man's land. Because right here positions start to disappear. My teacher actually used to call it no man's land, because she says no one knows this area. It's like everyone's okay until 5th and maybe 6th position, but after that it's like it gets fuzzy up here, to be completely honest, with extensions or with like the fact that you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 an octave with 4 fingers up here. But she said that no one knows their violin in this area across 4 strings, and I agree with her. Not a lot of people do know that area intimately. Yes, I wanted to make sure this area, including off the side, was all clean. And I'm gonna still do the same thing. I'm gonna hold down the bridge without moving it, and then bring up the E string. As soon as you feel resistance when you're tuning the E string, y'all need to like heat that sucker up. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. Do you guys see that dent on the D string? Right there. Oh, it's so effing annoying. It's a freaking new string. I'm gonna have to buy a new string, call Johnson, figure out how to get a new string here ASAP. Now I'm gonna let it rest for a couple minutes, and then wash my hands, clean this up, and then we're gonna test it out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I've let my violin rest a little bit, and I put my shoulder rest on because I'm gonna now warm up the strings before I go out. So the A string I tuned up before I turned the camera back on. I'm like, oh, I should show them what it sounds like. So as you know, when we were tuning it, we actually make it a little higher than the A, D, G, and E, just so that the metal will stretch. And this is what it sounds like after it's rested. The A string was actually like an A flat. This is a little higher than an A because it's just what I do. When I get a new string, I just bump it up, but I'm filming, so here we go. So this is like almost like a F sharp, in between F sharp. This is way lower than a D. It's like in between an E flat and an E natural. So this is what it sounds like when it's wrong. We're gonna tune, hold on, I'm gonna take off my earring because I'm gonna be a good violinist. I'm gonna tune. Wow, I jacked it up too much. When you tune, I would say anchor here in your pelvic bone. I don't do it here, I like it here because I like it at this angle. And then that way you have leverage. I would not, when it's too hard to move, I would not, well, with the peg dope, it's actually easy to move, but I like my box real tight. But I like it tight without breaking, which is why I do like 3 rounds of the peg dope. If it's hard to tune, I would not do this, or like you'll see people do this. I feel like that's real stupid because you're just asking for an injury, especially if you've been pre-injured or if you have weak wrist or weak hands. So I say put it here, get into the ballpark. When you're in the ballpark, that's when I would say move your thing around. When you pluck and it's in tune, it's not gonna be in tune when you play. Ooh, I like the sound of dominants when they're fresh and new. I used to hate that sound because it's really like in your face, like in your face, but one of my coaches, Marek, he has a very long last name with many letters. Like he would change his strings literally the day of or the day right before a concert, and I would be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? You can't do that. He's like, Grace, I love the pungent sound of fresh new dominant strings. And I was like, okay, let me test it out. And I agree. I would never go into like a recording studio or a live performance. I prefer that because it projects like real hardcore and whatevs. But I get it. I get it because I've grown real fond of it. Oh, let's hear what they sound like. That D string, so this is what it's supposed to sound like. Do you hear that? Smooth, G string, smooth, and then D string. You hear that? That's the humongo dent in my string. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so that's how I change my strings. Thank you so much for watching, and there's new videos every week, so make sure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and make sure to check out Grace the Violinista channel, which is where all the behind the scenes vlogs are. Yay. And let me know what's your favorite strings or what strings you would like to try out in the comment section below. And if there's any other how-to videos you guys would like to know for violin, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, peace!